Good day, good day. Lawrence here. Just on a break from the tutorial, so this is where the magic happens here. That's my little office space here, and I thought actually, as I've got a break, it'd be a nice opportunity to talk about dyslexia. To talk about dyslexia. So, as a tutor, about a third of the list that I work with are students with dyslexia, and then occasionally other things like ADHD as well, which actually become more common in recent years, which is interesting. But dyslexia is one of the main things that I see, main things that I work with, or main issues that students have. And I just wanted to come in with a quick video, really just a note of optimism, hope, positivity for parents, for students who been affected by dyslexia. So dyslexia as a condition has had a lot of research been done into it over the years, and it's basically it's a kind of alternate processing style to, should we say, the more common form of processing, right? And one of the issues students have who suffer from dyslexia, who are affected by dyslexia, is often spelling. This is the most well-known one, right? Spelling is a big issue for people. And on the English language paper in particular, there's a sense that this is put under the microscope. This is put under the microscope because you have marks for SPAG, other marks as well for organizing your ideas as well. So there is maybe an idea that there's a bit of a hopeless situation for people who've got dyslexia. You're never going to excel in English. And I just wanted to come in basically to dispel this. This is completely false. It's not true at all. I know this because I've worked with many students, some of whom have achieved very highly, even 9s on the GCSE course. And even many students who were struggling to pass, who were, down in the 2s, 3s, even 1s. And eventually, with the right course, with the right training, with the right focus, they get very comfortably into the pass grades. And some actually, the biggest jump I've had was a student who went from a 1 to a 7 in about 18 months. So it's basically an old grade F up to a grade A. So whilst that's not actually, that's not the most common jump. There's mostly a couple of grades. That's mostly what we tend to see. It does require focus, and it does require a few tweaks in the approach, not too many. And also crucially as well, students have to have been assessed as well. They have to have been assessed in a center. So occasionally I will get people who come in and I think, just based on my own experience, this looks like dyslexia. And it turns out when we do the inquiry, encourage the family to go and get an assessment, and it comes back, oh yeah, this is standard case of dyslexia. And I've had students who are 15, 16, they've been through their entire education and it's never been clear. They go and get an assessment and straight away it's clear. And the reason this is helpful is obviously you get some facility in exams, you get extra time, sometimes you get a scribe, or you get to do the exam on computer. So there are some additional facilities in place that are there to assist those students. And particularly with extra time, that is something that is quite useful on the English language exam. It'll give you a little bit more time to go back over your work and do some really refined checking. So really, this is just a note of positivity. I'm Lawrence. I'm an academic tutor. I work with many types of students, but probably two of the biggest groups I work with are the very high achieving students who are very ambitious, and then people who are struggling, who are on a kind of basically on a fail, and they're looking to get over the line and get a pass grade. It's kind of those two sides of the coin, some people in the middle, but those two sides are primarily the students that I work with. And I've got a very strong record, it has to be said, with students who are on that borderline, and also with research students as well, because I have a very specific program written and designed specifically for this group of students, because there are challenges they face that like a mid-level student doesn't necessarily face. So the things we need to build up first with this group of students before we can get them onto the more interesting and dynamic side of the English language course. So that's a little bit of my background. In terms of the academics, I was an academic scholar at Oxford. I'm a Cambridge examiner. I worked with some of the top agencies in the UK and also overseas. I also worked with a well-known British international school overseas as well. So that's my background. And as I say, hopefully this is just a note of optimism for you if you do have a son, daughter struggling with dyslexia. And feel free to drop me a comment or drop me an email, tuition@lawrenceexplains.com, and we can further the discussion there. I hope this has been helpful.